In China's capital, locked down neighborhoods and ramped up restrictions. 2 weeks ago, officials here vowed wartime measures after an outbreak at a huge wholesale food market. The first cluster of a few dozen cases, triggering a massive government response with quarantines and canceled flights. Now, just 2 weeks later, officials have declared the outbreak contained.
Key to the strategy here is testing, a lot of it. There are nearly 500 of these sites across the city that can handle 500,000 tests every day.
I feel safer, she says, after getting tested. Testing sites have cropped up everywhere, on soccer fields and in parks.
From that, a list is generated. People are told where and when to show up, and everything is organized right down to the names on the test tubes.
Officials say they've tested 8.29 million people since mid-June. That's equal to the population of New York City. So far, just 311 cases are confirmed as positive. Authorities also rolled out big data to track down anyone who might have been at the market. Using aggressive contact tracing, including cashless payment records, GPS, and phone calls, authorities built a list of 250,000 potential names and certain job groups across Beijing, like delivery and restaurant workers. Even beauty salon operators were told they had to be tested. Beijing had been reopening, but with this latest outbreak, the hallmarks of pandemic life came back, like closed schools and mandatory masks, a cycle experts say more cities should get used to. Janice Mackey-Freyer, NBC News, Beijing.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.